Welcome in, you guys. You are listening to From Mrs. to Ms. I'm your host, Andrea Knoche. You guys are in for a treat today. I am so pumped up about today's guest. I've been preparing for it. I've been emotionally preparing for this and just getting ready because I'm so excited to have her here. I have the fabulous Nikki Boyer joining me. Hello, Nikki.
I'm so grateful to be here. And you're my first interview that I've done after getting our Emmy nomination.
I know. I am so excited. I'm so excited for you. And I want to jump into that. Let me tell everybody who you are for those crazy people that don't know or haven't listened. They're behind the time.
Oh my God.
So let me do a quick intro, you guys.
Ooh.
So Nikki Boyer, she is a 3-time Emmy award-winning host, actress, producer, and storyteller whose work is rooted in vulnerability, humor, and heart. She's the co-creator of the hit Wondery podcast, Dying for Sex, which inspired the FX limited series of the same name, now streaming on Hulu and starring fabulous Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate. Nikki's powerful real-life journey with her best friend Molly, who faced terminal breast cancer with boldness, healing, and honesty, has touched millions. In addition to producing and hosting over 600 podcast episodes, Nikki has appeared crazy.
I know.
She has appeared on The Drew Barrymore Show, Access Hollywood Live, The Talk, and The Wendy Williams Show. And she's a longtime advocate for mental health and dog rescue. I am so honored to have you here. Oh my God. Okay. Before I jump into my actual questions, holy fuck, girl, Emmy. You guys got 9 Emmy nominations.
Isn't that beautiful?
Correct?
9. I know. 9. I have to say it's kind of, I hadn't thought about it leading up to, because I don't know. There's something about turning 50 and about having things happen later in your career where you're not as attached to outcome as you were maybe in your 20s or 30s.
Yes.
So I wasn't really I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then the morning comes and they're like, oh, the Emmy announcement. So this morning, click on this link at 8:30. I clicked on the link and immediately, Andrea, my armpit started sweating. I started I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, this is the moment where I start to care, right? Where I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, I always care, but you know what I mean? This is it.
Yeah.
And when all 9 of them came through, I was kind of having a slight out of body experience with my husband. We were laying all cozied up in bed and I just kept looking. We just kept looking at each other and just exactly. We're like, and so it was just really beautiful. And then immediately after all the beautiful, successful moments happen, I go straight to Molly. I just immediately think of her face and her voice and how she brought me here. So it always comes back to gratitude for her,
and
right?
Know she was sitting right there in between you and your husband, just looking at you guys going, how amazing.
I know.
Did you expect, now how many did you submit? That's how it works, right? You submit for Emmy nominations and then the Academy
I think it was everything that was submitted. I know.
Oh my God.
How magical is that? I know. So
unbelievable.
Show, actresses, writers, score, costumes, director. I mean, this team and all the emails that started coming through from this beautiful creative team. And then my previous creative team from Wondery, my phone was blowing up and I couldn't even put words to how I was feeling. I was like, how do I even say thank you to people? And then I texted Molly's mom and she's just such a sweet soul. And she said, thank you for keeping my girl alive. Oh my God. I know.
So just let me fill everybody in a little bit. I just have a little excerpt on Dying for Sex.
No, that's good. I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, just so they fully understand in case they haven't watched it. And I've been telling everybody because I've already watched the whole thing through twice myself, listened to your podcast. I've done it all. So, and I want people to understand that even though it's entitled Dying for Sex and it is about both dying and for sex, it's not really one more than the other. It is such a beautiful collaboration of both things. And most importantly, I just want to say it's about the kind of friendship that everybody dreams about. It's the friendship that carries you through life's most impossible moments.
Yeah.
And while Molly's journey began with a bold leap into sexual and emotional freedom, which I love to talk about, the true heart of the story is this deep soul level bond between her and you. And it's raw and it's messy, right?
Yeah.
And it's hilarious at times, girl. When she the one part where I think you say in the show, and I want to talk later about how much, it is reality compared to the show, right?
Right.
And you're telling the doctor about her symptoms, basically her menopause symptoms, and her vagina is dry, and she goes, "My vagina is dry," and she goes, "Did my vagina just speak in Scottish?" And I rewound it 3 times. I rewound it 3 times.
A wee bit dry.
That is it. Was that really that's how she was? She just found the humor in all of it.
I got the chills thinking about her. So I love that you're bringing this up because right after the Emmy nominations came through, and I said I had that moment where I just go back to Molly. I go to my phone. Yeah, it's 11:11. Okay, we got the chills again.
Oh my God!
It just hit, and then it just changed to 12. Right?
Oh my God! And had you not looked at that moment, I'm with you.
Okay,
we're exactly where we're meant to be in this moment.
Totally. So after I get these nominations, I think of Molly and I go to my phone, and it's something I do often for comfort, where I go back to our text thread from before she passed away.
Yeah.
Obviously. Could you imagine? It was like with the text thread, but she
You're still getting
text
them.
me from the dead, which would so be her. But I love that I had to clarify that from before she died.
Awesome.
You're like, no shit, Sherlock. So I was reminded, I looked at the dates and I was like, gosh, this was 3 days before she had been sedated and then passed. And up until the very end, Andrea, she was funny, irreverent, inappropriate, silly, still making jokes. And she was very also deep and thoughtful and introspective, and was willing to go deep in a moment's notice. So our relationship was that way almost until she died. And I just love, yes, it's a story about death, and it's a story about sex, and it's a story about a beautiful friendship. But I think it really is a lesson in life. How do you want to live your life? What is life going to be about for you? Because I think she learned very deeply in her last few months, what life is about. And she gave me so many good nuggets. And then in turn on the podcast gave everyone else these beautiful nuggets. So I know.
I've tried to quote her before in some of the things, and we'll get to that because some of the things just resonated so deeply with me. I've got my tissues here because I know I'm going to get emotional, because it's just such a beautiful story, and it's so human, and it's messy and raw, and I love all of it. I love all of it. Okay, so we're going to jump right in.
Let's do it.
Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so what was the moment you realized that Molly's journey needed to be a podcast? And was it her idea? Was it yours? Something you discovered together? And how did you go from these deeply personal conversations to producing it on Wondery? Can you kind of fill us in on how this came about?
No, I love that, because it takes me back to a very specific moment in my car driving down the street in the Valley in Los Angeles. We were running errands. I think I was near a Trader Joe's, and I'm at the stoplight, and she's telling me about her morning dates that she had. She had already gone on 2 dates that morning, I believe, like a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, little rendezvous moment, and coffee somewhere else. And I just said to her, I said, I think there's something here. I don't know what it is, but you're so bold and you're so open about it. I think there's something here. And I think it's a show. I thought TV show initially, and it's called Dying for Sex. And that title just went
right
bloop.
there.
Oh, I got the chills again. It just came to me, and she says, yes, let's do it. Now, what we were going to do, we didn't know for a little while longer, almost 6 or 8 months later, but we knew. And I remember holding my steering wheel and going, okay, let's do this. But what that was going to be, we didn't know. But that's how it started. And then I think once I said, let's work on something together, because we had never found a way to work together, because I was an actress and a host, and she was a writer. 2 very different worlds, right? I'm on camera and socializing with the universe, and she's on a computer writing in a coffee shop. How do we merge those worlds? So immediately we just started sifting through ideas and trying to figure out what this was. And we came up with the Hollywood one-sheeter, picture of us dying for sex. What's the show about? What's the vlog? Yeah, we did all of that. And it was just a real beautiful excuse, a real good one for us to finally start working on something. So we spent a lot of time working, and then eventually it led to us saying, let's turn on the microphone. A friend of mine at a production company said, I think we should just turn on the microphone and get started. And we did. And we started recording, and we started, mapping out the original episodes that were just about the sexual escapades. And then about 4 months in to us recording, Molly got really sick, and I didn't realize how sick she was getting. I thought it was just another moment of like, oh, she'll get sick, she'll go into the hospital, she'll recover, she'll be back out. And she went into the hospital and never came out. So we had those episodes recorded, but no real story arc, or we thought season 2 was going to come. So I continued to record with her in the hospital. And then that's when Wondery got involved, and then morphed those original episodes plus my recordings plus her book into the Wondery limited series that won the Ambie Award. And I could not have done it without Wondery and my producer Stephanie Jens and the whole team there. Like, they really believed in this story that didn't look on the outside like a commercial success, like Death and Sex. How do you market that? So it was hard, but that's how it kind of, it was a long road, but it flowed so naturally. But I want to tell you this because I think this is an important part of the story. And I know I'm kind of rambling, but I get so excited to talk about this.
Ramble. I love it.
So Molly was in the hospital. She was not doing well. And I knew she was dying. And I thought, I have to get these episodes out. What am I going to do? Like, I have to come out before she dies. And I was like, I'll just release them on my YouTube channel, right? Because like, I can't, I haven't found a platform. I don't know what to do. I'll just release them. So I reached out to the CEO of Wondery, Hernan Lopez, who's now a dear friend of mine. And I just sent an email, like those cold emails you do. But I had met him previously through my friend Ross Matthews years ago. And so I just said, hey, here's this show. This is amazing. I want to know your thoughts. And I never heard back from him. And so I thought, So I was sitting in the same car in front of my house, and I thought, I think I'm going to release the episodes today because I just feel like today is the day. So, but I said, let me reach out to Hernan one more time. So I reached out and I said, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm going to release these episodes. If I don't hear back from you soon, I really want to get these out. And he responded very quickly and said, don't release them. Come into my office. Let's take a meeting. So I went into his office. So my point in telling you is 2 points. One is always send the follow-up email. Be the squeaky wheel. Always. Yes. And then when I met Hernan in the office, and Marshall Louis and Aaron Hart, my whole team, Hernan said to me, I want to meet Molly. So he went to the hospital and met her. Oh my God. And sat next to her bed and said, I'm going to do everything I can to help tell your story in the best way possible. So that's how it ended up. It was very spiritual. I know, right? I know.
Oh my gosh. So many great
surround yourself with the right people and send the follow-up email. And have a great friend. And have a great friend who's willing to bare her soul and have fun with you. There's 3 things.
That was my question when you were talking about doing the podcast. Was she open to just, like, she's like a free spirit, like anything you want to talk about? You and I just said it before. We'll talk about anything on here. Is that how she was? Like, yeah, I'm going to put all of my sexual escapades out for everybody to hear. And I don't really give a shit because it's going to maybe help somebody. It'll tell a different story. It's going to be my legacy. Is that how she was?
I think very much so. She was very much a free spirit. No shame. She didn't give any fucks. She was like, I don't really care what people think anymore. And she said that was... She hated to say the gift of cancer because it's so gross, but like she's like, that's a gift that I got, was really just living very authentically and not caring what people thought. But one thing I did really admire about her, she was very open about her personal journey, but she was also very respectful and had lots of boundaries about sharing other people's journeys. So when we were sharing her sexual escapades, she always kept everyone's anonymity. She was very respectful to the people that she was having relationships with and having escapades with. And she would look at kinks and fetishes and I'd be like, what? Ew, weird. Like a little judgment. And she'd be like, oh no, they're figuring themselves out. And this means something to them. And she would go to those deep, dark places. So as irreverent as she was also very conscientious of other people's boundaries, which I just thought was a beautiful balance.
So amazing.
She's so cool.
So cool.
I know.
So when you heard Michelle Williams, incredible, would be playing Molly, okay, what was your first thought? And then Jenny Slate as you. I mean, that had to be wild.
First of all, unbelievable. Like, I was getting calls from agents and managers and people giving me ideas of who we were looking at for roles. And it's a process, right? Like, you're sifting through and the studio has thoughts and the network and everybody was very communicative. But when they said Michelle Williams is interested, I was like,
your heart stopped.
I'm like, you can't. Exactly. Hard stop. And like, you can't tell me this and then take it back.
That's right.
COVID hit. The writer strikes happened. I think Michelle ended up having a baby at that time. Like a lot of things were not happening in the way that we needed them for the show to be to happen in a time that we expected. But it all happened exactly the way it was supposed to. Like it all happened perfectly. But when I heard Michelle Williams was considering playing the role of Molly and was a fan of the podcast and fell in love with Molly as well, because I just love her now. Like Michelle and I have just such a nice bond. She's like my sliver of Molly, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And then it was Christmas and I was in Hawaii with my husband. We decided to go away to Hawaii, which sounds so luxurious right now. And I got the call that Jenny Slate had agreed after the chemistry read with Michelle, that Jenny agreed. And I just remember feeling like, this feels complete. Like, yes. And how grateful. Like, I was so grateful. These two amazing women wanted to play the two of us.
Oh my gosh. And I listened, after the podcast, I'm telling you, I listened to everything. All the bonus episodes and stuff, and you were talking to Jenny after, and she just said like the chemistry, because if I'm not mistaken, her and Michelle didn't really know each other, right? Before that.
No.
Yeah. And then they just had this incredible connection. And it's funny because I watched the whole thing and then I listened and then I went back and rewatched it because I just wanted to see how it felt.
Yeah.
It felt different. You know what I mean? And it felt more, I felt more connected. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like I know these girls,
Yeah.
And so it was really cool.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then to hear her say they didn't know each other and they became like the connection and the chemistry that they had on set immediately, it showed so much. Like I thought for a moment, like, oh, let me go back and, you're looking kind of, oh, can you tell that they didn't really know each other, No. I mean, the whole time I was like, how did they pull that off? It just felt so right. It was
I think that's when you realize that the art of acting really is a craft where they do their homework. They create a relationship within themselves that they have with this strange person that could be anybody. And then if you are lucky enough to get that chemical thing that happens, like chemistry is not, it's interesting because chemistry is like the kind of this magical thing. But if you put enough work into, like Jenny did, and of course Michelle, then what you bring to you're starting at a 10, right? You're starting at the world is within you. And then you get the bonus of experiencing that with the other actor and being alive. And I was on set so much and I watched them go back and forth and I watched that love. I remember saying to Liz Merriweather and Kim Rosenstock, my showrunners, who, oh my God, I can't believe I get to say that out loud. Right. I remember saying to them in the early drafts of the script, and then again during the raw edits and the cuts, I was like, this is whether or not this is exactly what happened, or they took liberties, or we made some negotiations with characters and development and time. This feels like me and Molly. It feels, the words on the page felt like me and Molly. And then when you got Michelle and Jenny, I was like, this just feels like us. And I remember them saying, that's the biggest compliment. Thank you for honoring that. I think they tried really hard to do that, and it shows.
Was there ever a moment when you were like, oh, no, I wasn't like that. I didn't say it like that. Or you were shocked. You're like, wow, is that how it sounded?
I think I'm pretty, I'm my own worst critic. So at first I was like, that's so funny. I'm not that disorganized. I don't have a giant bag full of crap like Jenny's character. Like she's got this giant bag, right? I was like, that's not me. And then I was like, wait. I said to my husband, I said, Tommy, is that me? And he's like, you don't have a bag. He's like, but the desktop of your computer is a disaster. Like, nothing's organized. There's no files. You don't name anything. You lose things. You never back anything up. And I'm like, I don't have the bag, but my computer that I'm on right now, if you could see it, it's Jenny's bag. And so even when they took liberties, they were still commenting on me, even though there were liberties taken. I felt like it still kind of came back to a sense of truth. Like, I'm not a big Shakespeare fan, right? But Jenny's character was obsessed with Shakespeare. But the funny part is that they knew that, so they kind of did that, in a way to
Yeah.
give obviously the character a journey and some depth. But
depth
I
and
also thought it was kind of funny, even though it was so opposite of me. It was still based on something that I shared with them that I thought was
That's so
it all
funny.
felt very like related. It all felt
I can't
related.
imagine what that would feel like, just watching somebody play you. Like, you're like, huh, really?
I know. It's
I
funny
think it would
because
just be,
I have a little bit of an ego and I have a little bit of a control type A personality, but something happened on this project where I was holding on to it, but like this, with like loose fingers. I didn't feel the normal things I feel around creative projects and control. I just felt very spiritually in tune with Liz and Kim and the writing team and oh my gosh, it was just I just felt very
you just knew it was
safe.
in such capable hands. It was in such capable hands, and they were going to honor it and take care of it and cherish it like you would. And I think that's you were probably like, just tell my story for me.
Yeah. And I also knew that if you wanted the cold, hard, if you wanted the cold, hard facts, I don't know why I'm talking like I'm on a Dateline episode right now. But if you wanted the truth, the podcast was always there. Like you always could go back to Molly. So I felt like they were painting with new colors and new brushes. The canvas felt similar. I was like, I felt good about what they were going to take and do with it because the truth was already documented and it was already there. And so I felt really good about that.
So now that you say that, do you suggest that people want to watch? Should they listen to the podcast first and then watch the show?
I kind of like what you did. Didn't you sandwich it? Like how I'm telling people to watch the show twice. You watched.
Let's do it how I did, people.
Let me clarify. Did you watch and then you listened?
I watched,
and then you
listened, and then I rewatched.
I would
because
say
it
that's
felt
the
different.
Way to go. Yeah, did it?
Yeah, because when I watched
Tell
it
me.
the first time. So when I watched it the first time, okay, I'll tell you exactly where I was. I was in the gym on the treadmill, and I was like, "Oh, I heard about this new show." I didn't realize, as the title would give, I thought we were going for sex, which I love talking about sex. So I'm like, tune in for that. I wasn't expecting where it was going to go, and then that was one of my next things when Molly said. In episode 2, she said, she makes this hilarious comment in the elevator. The guy walks in. He's like, I'm going to set it up for everybody. This guy walks in and he's like this hot model guy, or he's already in there. And she comes in and she's like, holy fuck, like who put this model in the elevator with me when I'm like basically so horny right now. And, she looks at him and he's got these earbuds in, his Apple earbuds. And she goes, oh, that earbud is so tight in his ear. I wish I was an earbud right now. And I busted out laughing on the treadmill. And and I was like, oh, I'm hooked, And so watching it in there, obviously I wasn't going to be as emotional. I'm not over there crying and laughing out loud, except for that one point I was trying to like contain myself. And so when I watched it the second time, I watched it at home and just by myself. And it was such a different feel because I could be vulnerable and emotional with it. And I bawled, watching it, even just in little bits, because now knowing her story also throughout the podcast just gave it that different effect. And it was, for me, it was the perfect way to watch it because I got the before and then I felt like I really knew you guys and then I got the after and it just,
I'm so grateful.
Really,
thank you
really
for spending
neat.
so much time with us. Like so lovely.
I loved it. I'm telling everybody about it. I'm like, cause on my show, I talk about sex a lot and I talk about relationships and there's so many more different types of relationships than just a romantic one. And so I wanted to really respect that. So one of my tough questions, I'm sure it was more tough for you than me. When Molly said, I want to die with you.
Yeah.
Was that really how she asked you to take that journey with her? And what went through your mind? Did you consider like, I can't do this?
Well, it was layered because Molly had her diagnosis previously. And then when it came back, she actually called me and told me on the phone. But the dialogue was had a similar spirit to the bodega scene where Molly's character tells Nikki she has it, right?
Drinking the drink.
Drinking the diet soda. What was it called? I can't remember. It was like,
what was it? It was
shit.
weird limeade.
Darn it. I can't remember. It was like, it was bad soda or bad diet. I don't know, but it was bad diet soda. Yeah.
Was it like just good soda or something like that? It was something very generic. Like
good diet. I don't remember. It was like good diet soda. I don't know. Shoot. Why can't I remember that? But I think Molly never outwardly said, I want to die with you. Like she never said it, but that's the beauty of writing is they took all of our conversations from the podcast, all of our conversations that I told them about. And they're like, we want to make it very clear what kind of a journey this audience is going to get to go on with the two of you.
We summed it up in one sentence.
Summed it up. I want to die with you. I want to die with 6 words.
With you. 6 words.
But I did know she wanted that. She was very clear with me about that I was her person. She'd always say, you're my person. You're my health proxy. You're the person, which it was a very big responsibility. I don't even think I was fully aware that I was that person because I was just kind of trucking along with life with her and trying to figure out how to navigate it. There were times, I mean, to be honest, there were times it was really hard on me because she's got the urgency of I'm dying and I want to be with the people that I love. And I am with my husband or my boyfriend at the time, probably 6 years into our relationship. So with his 2 daughters that I'm helping raise that were very young. So plus also having to hold multiple jobs and make a living. And also my best friend is dying and I want to be at the hospital every day. It was so stressful. But what I had was a loving partner who kept saying, go and be. So that was
huge.
The character played by Kelvin Yu, who is Noah, is Jenny's boyfriend in the show, is very similar to my Tommy.
Really?
And loving and open and kind and gave space for all the messiness, but they did mess with the time, meaning like they made it earlier in our relationship, mine and Tommy's relationship. So there was a little more like to work through and figure out. But ultimately it felt very much like us. She did never say outwardly, I want to die with you, but you're my person and you are who's navigating this with me. I was like, I'm in.
Gosh.
But I was scared.
Did you?
I was.
Yeah. So was there a moment when you thought, oh God, I don't, or maybe to Tommy, like, I don't know if I can do this. Like that, I had to sit and think about that, Nikki, and really go, when I was watching it, I went, could I do that? Could I be that person for somebody? Because we're not ever really challenged with something so huge like that, you know, and to be put in those shoes and to have to make that decision because it's going to change your life forever. It's going to change her life. And if you say no, what does that do to your relationship? And, you know, so many dynamics to it.
She was really clear I did think about, it's hard to understand what's in retrospect and what I was feeling and thinking at the time because it all gets a little muddy. But her mom came to be with her those last few months and did not leave her bedside. So that is very, you know, in the show, Sissy Spacek, who plays Molly's mom.
Incredible.
So good.
So good.
She comes later in the game, but Molly's mom in real life was there for a long time, like stopped her life, came and basically lived in the hospice room with her. So that gave me space to come and go. Come and go. So I could not have been there for the way that I was with Molly if her mom hadn't sort of created that baseline of like, I'm here, someone's always going to be with you. And so I couldn't have done it without Molly's mom.
Amazing.
But there were moments where I was like, where I was overwhelmed with my own life. Also, something we didn't talk about in the show at all. I was going through my own health crisis during that exact time. Right?
Really?
I know. I was going through fertility issues and I was struggling with shots and injections and going through all that. So Molly would always say, I can't believe I'm fighting for my life and you're fighting to create one all at the same time. Isn't that crazy? So that was going to be season 2 of the podcast. And we never got to it. I know. So I was going through that. So I also was very hormonal and kind of a raging bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
And very stretched, right? So my other friends in my life were supporting me so that I could be there to support Molly, right? So it's this beautiful trickle-down effect of female friendship. But she was, it's funny, she used to always say to me, like, you're my person. You're my soulmate. And I'd always be like, that's a little dramatic. A little dramatic there.
It's crazy now.
I'd like to think of my husband as my real like soulmate partner, but like, but and then after Molly passed and I was honored to tell her story and just constantly communicating with her soul constantly. Yeah. My husband came in, he's like, wow, she really is. She's your soulmate. Like it doesn't get any more linked than this. And I was like, you can have lots of them. You can have lots of soulmates. Isn't that beautiful?
Can.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So to just touch on your personal, where are you in that whole journey with the fertility?
Girl, I am so glad to not have a kid. We tried. I must have made a soul contract that was like, hey, so I'd like to do this life with no kids. And my human body was like, I want children. I'm very maternal and I love kids and I love taking care of people. And so I was just like, of course I want to have a baby. And I fell in love with a man that I couldn't wait to make a baby with. And it just was not in the cards for us. I mean, we did IVF multiple times. I was pregnant quite a few times, more than I would actually like to admit, but I could have done the donor egg route. I could have gone the route, but by that time I was so clear about what it is that I wanted out of motherhood that I wasn't willing to make that sacrifice. That's not the road that I wanted. So I ended the road and then came to this beautiful resolve after it was over of like, I really like my childless life. I raised
a huge discovery.
Huge. And something Molly would say to me when I was going through this, she was like, I know what'll happen. I'm going to die and then I'm going to come back as your baby. I was like, you are so twisted and sick. She was like, just think then you can take care of me for the rest of your life. She's so
wow. I love how way she thinks though. That's
She's
so funny how she got humor
dark.
into everything.
I know. So I never had a baby. I would have loved to have had a baby. I think it would have been really cool. Yeah. But the idea of being a mom in different ways that I have been, also mothering this project. Like I feel like I gave birth to something huge.
This is your baby.
Right? Yeah. Yes. This feels like my baby. And also, I really can't wait to like go travel. Like while all my friends are going to soccer games and fucking dance recitals for 8-year-olds are like, and they're like 50 and exhausted. I'm going to go to Italy.
And do some fun stuff. And look at you now.
There's still a sliver of my heart that grieves and aches for that, but it's a piece of the pie and I acknowledge it and I'm very in tune with it, but the rest of the pie feels so full to me. So I'm okay with it. Yeah. I can't believe I'm here.
Wild.
I know.
Yeah, it's so wild to me how that stuff happens and you don't know it in the moment. You don't feel it in the time and you feel like, oh my gosh. And then when it comes later, that's why I always say, trust the planner and not the plan. Because you don't know.
That's good.
Yes. And it really like, I'm like, wow. Yeah, that's so good because you're like, we trust the plan and we're like, no, this is how it's supposed to go. And I'm supposed to be this and do this. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you just let it go, you're trusting the planner. You're like, it just takes you on a different journey.
I don't even know if I was conscious of trusting, but like, that's great. I'm going to steal that from you.
Steal it. I probably stole it from somebody.
I'll give you credit. Yes.
Okay. I didn't give her credit. I don't know who it was, but I didn't give her credit.
That's fine.
I just like it. That's so cool. So cool. Okay. So we're going to move on. So, I got to talk about all our sexual escapades because that was so fun to listen to. Things that, I was like, ooh, I would try that. Or, oh, I would never try that.
Right.
Kind of thing, So out of all of her wild sexual adventures, which one made you laugh the hardest, either in the moment or when you were retelling it? Is there one that you were just like, this is absolutely ridiculous?
Okay, so it was included in the show, but it was merged, right? Like, so the boy, oh my God, the guy, Conrad Ricamora, who I love, the man, the human, who played the dog, dressed in the dog costume, right? So when he comes in, so there was a gentleman that wanted to be treated as a dog and put in a kennel in her apartment. Like, was like, I want to live in a kennel in your apartment.
Oh my God.
And I want to be ordered around and told what to do. And then there was a separate guy who was really into pee play. And so they merged those two characters because, it kind of makes sense visually, like a dog.
It does.
And the funniest story was the guy, and this might be a little gross for audiences, so slight trigger warning, because I went, ugh, when I heard this. She's like, the guy was so into my urine. And I was like, where does that come from? And Molly was intrigued. I was slightly judging, and she's like, we're all wounded, and our sexual things come from sometimes trauma. And that was another thing she was working through in the podcast and in the TV show, which is a lot of our sexual fetishes and ideas of what turn us on sometimes come from, sadly, trauma or moments when you kind of get a little bit split off from yourself, right? So the P guy, we called him P guy, I think, but I don't know if we talk about this in the podcast. I can't remember, but not only did he like for her to pee on him and pee in his mouth. My God, I feel so bad, but that's he would then, she was like, I can't do this. I'm sick. I have things going on. I've got other people to see. I appreciate you, but I can't. He was a little obsessive about it. And so he'd be like, can you just pee in a bottle and leave it outside your front door? On that note, as I drink,
I'll take a drink.
Right?
Swig it up.
So he would just ask her for her urine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Which is so funny because in the show, then Sissy Spacek's like, do you know that she's chemo today? You're drinking chemo pee.
Which is one thing that Molly said to me. She said, oh my God, I'm doing all this urine stuff with this guy. And a lot of these men did not know she had cancer. So she put it together in that moment. So that scene is really inspired from a true conversation that we had. I'm like, oh my God, I have chemo pee.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So not only did you help bring Dying to Sex to life behind the scenes as executive producer, incredible. You were also in front of the camera as Sheila.
Cousin Sheila.
That's something I didn't see until
really?
Till after I didn't see it till the second time. And then I went, wait a second. She looks a lot like the lady I'm going to be interviewing.
Yeah. I love that you discovered it
part of the meal train. Yeah, you were part of the meal.
Yeah, it was a little Easter egg, and it was the scene with Conroy Ricamora, and also it was a group scene. It was like an ensemble little moment. It was Jay Duplass, who I love, the woman who played Jay Duplass's girlfriend at the time.
Yes,
Sissy, me, and Michelle Williams, and then Conrad Ricamora. I was like,
the dog.
I was like, are you kidding me right now? I'm spending an entire day sitting and acting with some of the greats, and I get to play a funny, quirky little character who brings in, chilaquiles to the chemo room.
Did you ask to do it? Did you say, I want to be a part of it? Did they come and go, hey, we think you would be great to be a little sliver of this?
I said, I'm in this, right?
That's what I would have said.
And my sweet little showrunners, I love them both so much. They were like, yeah, oh God, yeah, let's figure this out. But there were a lot of roles, but there weren't a ton of ancillary characters. Am I using that word?
You're right.
Yeah. What does ancillary mean?
I don't know.
Hey Siri, what does ancillary mean?
As an adjective.
Proving necessary. Oh, no. Proving necessary?
I mean, it was necessary for you to be in it.
Necessary support. But anyway, I should probably look words up before I use them on podcasts. I think I used it.
Go with it.
I'm sure people in the comment section will tell us.
Yeah. It was necessary for you to be in it. So it works.
Yeah, right. There were a lot of...
It's very ancillary.
Yeah. Oh my God, I really don't know.
I don't know where we're going with that.
I don't know where I'm going.
Bring it on back.
But I really enjoyed playing that role, and I definitely said I want to be a part of it. And it was a nice little Easter egg, and it was the perfect role. It was a tiny little moment. Like I dipped in, I dipped out, but it was a full day of shooting. Like I had a full day on set in a different way because I was an EP. So I'm kind of behind the camera, behind the monitors with my headphones on, sort of watching. And then I got to immerse myself in the show and be an actor for just a day, and it was kind of perfect. It was really nice.
Yeah. And what's really neat about that is because you do have to take your hat off of one and go into the other.
Yeah.
And you pulled it off flawlessly. Like I said, I didn't even know that was you the first time. And then I'm like, well, holy shit, look at her, jack of all trades, and so that's really cool to just be so good that you didn't stand out to me like, oh, she doesn't belong in this.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
good.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for saying that. I know I've been an actress for like 20 something years, and having, I kind of like abandoned it a little bit and have Sissy Spacek say, you're really good at this. Or you're good at acting. And I was like,
and like,
thank you.
oh,
And I was like, maybe I should get back into this. Yeah, we'll see.
Yes. Yes, you never know. So one of the things that she did often in it, which made me kind of giggle a lot, there's moments when she just rests her hand on your boob.
That's
And
totally
it's
100% real life. That comes from
really, that's what I was going to ask. It was so like intimate and yet funny, but like it was so just unexpectedly tender when she would do it.
Yeah.
And it was when you weren't really even talking. It was just the moments, right? The silence.
Yeah.
And it just felt comforting to her.
Yep.
And I was going to ask, did that really happen or was that improvised? So that's
she
so neat.
Well, and I told Kim and Liz, my showrunners, and I would sit on the phone for hours and talk about those little tiny moments. I mean, they included me so much in the process, and they wanted to know those little details. So a lot of the things that people think are made up actually really happened. Like, the hand on the boob. She just was kind of, I don't know why she really liked my boobs. And I think Molly was really open that before her boob job,
yes,
I shouldn't say boob job, before her double mastectomy that then became a boob job. She was like, I just want my boobs to look like yours. And I was like, well, that's such a flattering thing to say, because she didn't like her boobs. So she would always hold and cup my boob in her hand. And it was never sexual. It was always just like kind of oddly maternal and cozy, and I would just let her do it because I was like, she is just such a quirky bird. I was like, whatever. And it became kind of one of our things. She was like, oh, I love your boobs. Can I touch your boobs? So stupid.
And it just probably felt so natural.
Yeah, it did. And the fact that they put that in there let me know. I was like, oh, this was the first episode. I'm like, or maybe it was the second. I was like, it was the first. I was like, they get it.
Yeah.
They get it so deeply.
With Noah just standing there. Yeah, because he was on the drums or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was just so exactly how it could have gone down.
How it was.
Yeah.
And it didn't faze him at all. He's just like, you can have a boob today. Yeah, that's amazing. So there's, just so many messages in this about this beautiful friendship and this beautiful thread within the series. About how love, I said it before, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be this deep and unconditional friendship that is so incredible. So what did being loved by Molly teach you about the kind of love that really transforms us?
That's such a good question.
You're going to make me cry.
I know. I didn't know that kind of love could exist in a friendship. I had no idea that someone could really get you, not judge you, hold you accountable, but also give you so much grace. And the way that she looked at me and treated me and just was with me, showed me that during really tender times in my 20s and 30s that I was worthy of really special connection. Molly was not the kind of girl that you could just go to lunch with and hang out with for an hour and say, how's the weather? Or tell me about your new apartment. Did you get a new couch? She wanted to talk about life. Deep. And so she always made me super accountable. She helped me understand what integrity means, keeping your word, not taking things she was my version of the Human 5 Agreements, that book, she was just the way she saw me made me see myself better.
Oh gosh, that's beautiful. I love that. And one of the most tender moments in it, and I was telling it to one of my best friends last night. It was, well, I just have so many questions kind of about, I'm kind of jumping a little bit to the end of it.
Go. Yeah.
When she was in hospice and Amy came in.
Nurse Amy, God love her.
And kind of nerved it out, Okay, so first of all, she went through the journey of death. And what to expect. And of course, that came from her many experiences with many people that she'd been with, within the hospice. And just hearing it, how it was all supposed to play out was so, that scene for me was so emotional because I think like most people, we are terrified of death.
Right.
And what that looks like, I'm going to cry. And so when she talked about all of like the journey and the steps she was going to go through. And she's like, and then you're going to have this moment of clarity.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the rally. And
Yep.
then you're going to take that last breath and you're not going to take it in again.
Yeah.
And that was like really had so many dimensions for me because I've never been explained about it that way or thought about it that way. And I think that will be for a lot of people like, oh, is that what really happens? So I guess I'm asking you, is that truly how it happened? Like how each phase went through? Did you feel those moments? Because they show it in the show.
Yeah.
But is that how you really felt like it happened?
There are parts of it that are just so in line with what happened in the show. Molly didn't have the rally where she was dancing physically because she was so, her legs were in really bad shape. She was doing lung taps very regularly. She was very confined to her bed. But there was a rally for Molly, which was finishing her book. She wanted to write and finish her book in her hospital bed. Well, she didn't want to finish it in her hospital, but she had to finish it in her hospital bed.
Right.
So that was her rally. It was like crazy typing, focus, like engaged writing. Do you want to read it? Handing me the computer. Going. It's like our rally was a little different. I think there was a part of me that watched the rally between Michelle and Jenny and Sissy in that room dancing. And I was like, I love that they portrayed it that way. And there's a little part of me that's like, okay, I got a little of that with Molly, like from the show. Like I got to experience that. Yeah. And so
it's beautiful.
There was, I mean, when I tell you, I mean, if you listen to the podcast, I think you get a real description and idea of what it was like when Molly actually died in real life, which was the flickering and the tapping of the fingers in the TV show happened from Molly to Nikki. But when I was in the room with Molly in real life, my hand was on her leg and there was no Molly tapping my fingers. It was something tapping my fingers that woke me up. I don't know.
Wow.
She was sedated. Her mom was sleeping. My hand was on her leg. And I thought a nurse had come in and gone tap, 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 to my fingers.
It really happened. And that's when she had her last
so
breath,
she woke up.
And
And I experienced her last 2 breaths with her. And my hand were on her head and her heart. And I said, I'm here and I got you, which is what they said in the show. And then she took that last breath that wasn't followed by another. And so, yes, it was very in line with that. And I'm so glad that it resonated with you, because I can't think of other TV shows that have really explained things, like really deeply gone into a scene and said, this is what happens when we die. I think there was, gosh, I wish I could remember the name of it. It was a Netflix show with Zoe Saldana. And she's losing her husband. Oh my God, it's like all about food, and I don't know what it's called, but what I do know is that I'm going to look it up because I feel like you should watch this show. And it was a beautiful show. Her husband was dying from scratch. It's called From Scratch. Oh. And there's a moment where the palliative care worker comes in. And I was watching this before we shot Dying for Sex. The palliative care worker comes in and sits down with the husband and says, you're dying, and I want to talk to you about how you feel about it. And I want to guide you through what you can expect from palliative care turns into hospice and what's going to happen to you. And it was the first time ever in a TV show that I had seen someone have that conversation. And then when I got to see the scene with Dying for Sex, I was there when Paula Pell shot it. And I thought, this is going to matter to people. This is going to land. And so I'm really glad that it landed on you.
All right. Yeah. And the other part that really landed is when she said, okay, this one's really going to get me. She was talking about, she said, there's so many trips that I've not been able to take and events, I'm going with this, on events that I couldn't go to because I was sick, had to cancel, give away the tickets or whatever. Yeah. And she said, but this dying is a trip curated just for me.
Just for me. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And she said, beautiful. a trip where I won't have pain and it's going to be exactly what I imagine it'll be. And it is just for me. And I thought in that moment, like, what an incredible way to look at
I
that.
know.
Because when we think of dying, we are, like I said, we're terrified and scared. And she embraced it. And she took it for like, this is happening to me. I can't stop it. It's coming whether I like it or not. So I'm going to look at the positives of it and I'm going to go with it. And
so brave. So beautiful.
And that's on the podcast too. She says that in the podcast too. And it was just, wow. Like, I love the way her mind thought.
Right? Yeah. And that was one moment when they wrote the script and I read it. I got chills. And then when I saw Michelle perform that scene where she's literally almost saying verbatim what Molly says, and the way she sounds like her and has her vocal kind of fry and the tiredness of her voice and the softness, but also like that, like when she shot that scene, I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping that this, the TV show would capture the heart and the humor, but also that moment around her death. And so I feel like in a way, I think Kim and Liz, when they wrote that episode, as a writer, I think, Kim has said to me, and I think, we were having dinner one night and she was like we didn't have to write those gifts were given to us from Molly. Like there's nothing we could have written that would have been better than what came out of Molly's mouth.
Yeah.
And the fact that those writers were able to go, that is perfect. Those 10 lines are perfect. Let's just let them be there. I love that they had the willingness and openness and confidence to do that in their work.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Magic. It was magic. So cool. So cool. I love the magic of this. Okay. So like, if Molly could see everything that's happened since you started telling this story, the podcast, the series, the people it's touched, what do you think she'd say?
She would be enamored and blown away and so proud at the ripple effect of her tiny, sweet little life. She wouldn't even, I think she always knew she had things to say and people to touch. I don't think she ever imagined it would have gone to this place. And I think she'd be thrilled, like over the moon. But Molly was also very opinionated and had lots of standards. Like she was very, like, I said the word snobby once and I wish I could take that back. She wasn't snobby, but she was like, like it's a lot of integrity. So when something didn't match up artistically to what she wanted, she would be like, I didn't like that music, or I didn't like that vibe, or that was cheap. Or so I bet Molly would have tons of opinions about things, but I would have loved to have heard. But I think from where she is on the other side, I think she's just like she's proud of herself,
of you and you.
Me. You're right.
And you. Yeah. This is you. You did this. You know, you took it and you made this out of it. Oh my gosh. So good. So we're so excited about all your Emmy nominations. Incredible. So we have Michelle Williams is up for Best Actress, right?
Yep.
And in the Cinema Limited series, and then Jenny Slate for Supporting Actress. The series is recognized. Like we said, there's 9. There's just incredible. So, I mean, seeing it as an outstanding limited series, it's such a full circle moment. Right.
It is cool. Kind of. It's so wild. Cool. I know.
Yes.
I know.
I am rooting for you guys just to sweep it away. So neat. And so everybody, you need to, it is ancillary that you watch. Got it.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's
it is necessary. We are proving necessary that you watch Dying for Sex.
Wait, is it ancillary or ancillary? Oh my God.
I don't know. It's ancillary and ancillary that you watch Dying for Sex. You guys.
Love you.
I'm telling you. This is the word. The word.
You are the best.
Have to watch it. Oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. And you are going to love it. They can find it on Hulu. It's an FX limited series on Hulu. Yeah, go watch it. Listen to the podcast titled the same, Dying for Sex. Follow along on this incredible journey. You are killing it.
You are so sweet to me.
And I just, right? And amazing. So tell everybody, Nikki, where can they find you? Is there anything you want them to tell? I know Molly has her book out.
Yeah.
You have so much going on. Please take a moment. Say anything you want to say.
First of all, I just want to say thank you. Like you're part of the ripple effect. The fact that you cracked yourself open, you're willing to take the story on and then reach out to me and say, let's have a call. Like, thank you. Cause this is the ripple effect. So you are part of it for me. So thank you so much for having me on. You're such a good, you're so good at chatting and interviewing. It's
Let's
just
make sure we've got that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. I'm just kidding.
No, you're like, that's the cold open for the show. Andrea, you are the best interview.
All of this.
Totally. But I think Molly's book is really important because, I mean, there's just, for anybody that wants more or wants, like, you know, the words that she wrote while she was in her bed, coming to terms with the fact that she was dying. They're really powerful. It's a beautiful book. It's a little darker. It's a little more introspective. It's called Screw Cancer, Becoming Whole.
Ooh.
And I self-published it for her on Amazon. So there, you know, I just put, I designed it. I had an editor help me. I put some pictures in there, and it's just, and those are Molly's words. And so if you really want more of her, you can get her book. And then for me, I think the best place to connect with me is Instagram. It's just at Nikki Boyer, NIKKIBOYER. And I'm telling you, I pretty much respond to every person that reaches out and says, I watched the show and here's how I felt, because it's a way of me like connecting with all these people that are allowing me and Molly into their lives. So I'm just so like the gratitude. I'm just so grateful and overwhelmed with gratitude. And every person that reaches out, I'm like, is one more person that I feel like is keeping her alive and keeping me connected to them and her. And it's just, I have to tell you, like that feeling is the most alive feeling, is when you're connecting with strangers that you will maybe never meet, but you have this bond. And it's kind of what happened with you. Like you and I went back and forth, and I feel like we've never met, but I feel like I've known you for such a long time because we've been doing this together. Yeah. So
I know when you came on, we're like, hi, you know. It's so excited.
I know.
So I love that. Thank you for sharing so much of everything. And you've done it so much justice. And I am so excited about all these opportunities, the award. I mean, more award shows are going to come up for it, and just, embrace it. Love it.
Thank you for that reminder.
That's so
I'm going to stay present in it. And then hopefully I'll have more things to share and more shows. I have things in development. I lean into the uncomfortable. I want to tell stories about really real people with unreal stories. That's what I'm interested in telling. And so I lean into the uncomfortable now. It doesn't have to be death or sex, but most likely it'll probably be along those lines. So just keep a lookout. Hopefully I'll have another story that I can share with everybody, and crack people open. That's my goal. Crack us wide open.
Crack it wide open. And your Instagram is just Nikki Boyer.
Yep. Yes. Nikki NIKKI Boyer. Yeah, just go find me. We'll be friends forever.
Find her. See? I know. I would love to have you back when you do all your projects. Come back and chat with me. And
call me, text me. I'll come back in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And I was going to do all this little quick fire. I told you I was going to do these fast.
Let's do it.
I don't even think. Well, you want to? I didn't think we need to, because I think we just encapsulated.
No, I love
perfection. And I think we're leaving on a high note. I was worried we were going to be all like, wah, wah, you know, and we need to bring it live. So, I mean, I will ask. Okay, I got one. What's your favorite snack you're going to do for Emmy season? What's going to help you get through it?
Oh my God. Just so you know, I try to eat healthy, but like,
it doesn't happen.
The Mexican pizza from Taco Bell, vegetarian style, with extra sour cream, no tomatoes, and a Diet Coke, that I could eat every day for the rest of my life.
Ready for you.
That's my. I'm like salivating thinking about it. So there you go. And Taco Bell's not even paying me. So
we're going to get them in here on this one. That's amazing. I love it. So awesome. Well, everyone out there listening, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. What a blessing to get to talk to Nikki today and to get to be a part of this. So exciting. So you guys can find this anywhere you stream your podcast. You can email me if you have any questions or you want like a connection, because she's my friend now. You can email me first at Andrea at from2ms.com. And you can find me on social media at from.mrs.2.ms. Nikki.
Andrea,
my day, girl.
You're stuck with me now, girl. We're done.
I love it. Bring it. All
right.
And you know what? I was in the Valley. When you were talking about, that's where I lived. I mean, I just moved to another area like 2 months ago, but I lived in Woodland Hills. Yeah. For like 5 years.
Okay. Wait, I'll see. Let's just go get Taco Bell. Let's call it a day.
Let's go get Taco Bell. I know. I think she said the local peasant. And I'm like,
oh yeah, down the
this
street.
can't be.
We should go have drinks. Let's go
We're
do
going.
the local peasant. We can get mocktails. We don't have to drink.
We don't have to drink.
Please.
We're all right, guys. It's okay. I love it.
I love it. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Oh, perfect.